These niggas feel what jealousy. I'm doing good, that's what they envy me. This girl is in my memory. Oh, if I get your felony.
All right, what is up, you guys? It's Mr. Bombastic, Papi Fantastic. It's the Sage here. Oh, shucks. Oh, I'm way sold supplements in high school. Went from selling supplements to reading 15 now business self improvement books. Took action, started personal training, man from personal training, went into coaching. Coaching got a interest in business, and now we're expanding our knowledge in that space and sharing it. And here we are. So today's topic is going to be about celibacy. This is take two. The reason why I did another take is because I wasn't really able to be honest. It's tough to talk about. It's personal, right? And it's interesting to know that there are certain people who are going to see this, and it's kind of weird, but it's fine. So, my journey with the act, let's call it, because I do want to open this to to all age groups, but at the same time, I don't want the younger ones to know what I'm talking about. And at that same time, if you're old enough to understand what I'm talking about, then say, for example, like a younger teenager, then you're going to be able to take this message to heart. And that's another reason why I made this take too. So I've had a very and interesting relationship with the act. If my mom was watching this, mom, I've never done that. Despite your visual evidence to the contrary and things you've seen that may make you think otherwise, me, no, I would never. Anyone who's not my mom, thank you for tuning in. I'm talking to you. My relationship with the act has been varied and interesting, in terms of, okay, starting from a young age, there have been indirect influences on my ability to explore that side of myself, in terms of I never really had my own space, own time, own whatever the case may be, to kind of explore that in with a partner. And so I only begun to do that, I think I was like 17, right? And that was literally like the slim chance, one opportunity, and then the ball was rolling from there. I say that to say that there were indirect influences and there were things that were blocking me from doing it, but there was no conscious effort to speak to me directly and make me understand the value in not doing that, especially not doing that when you're younger. Because number one, you don't know what you're doing. And also, you don't realize at that time, but there are no benefits to increasing the notch count and being the cool guy and all those things. Those are just trivial things and wastes of time. And when you are on a journey like I'm on, and you're trying to be that best version of self, you may be misguided. You may watch things that they're not deliberately misguiding you. That's just their beliefs. But you haven't formed your own beliefs yet. And you may be misguided into thinking like, oh, this is just what you do when you're as cool as I am. When you're as cool as me and the ladies love you. This is what you do. But it's not. Yeah, you may be misguided into thinking that it's cool, it's fun, it's whatever, but it's actually not whatever. And I wish there was a better attempt to not only educate on that it exists, but educate on the benefits of abstaining, not only for societal reasons, but also for personal gain. It actually serves you to abstain from that in terms of the time, the resources, the energy, all of that stuff that you are going to invest in that. You could be taking that time, energy, resources, and investing it in your purpose, in your journey to figure out your purpose. Perhaps if you don't have if you haven't figured out your purpose yet, you could allocate those things to that journey. But instead, you find yourself doing that. You find yourself investing in these things, and these are mistakes. And these are mistakes that I've made, and these are mistakes that I don't want you to make if you're younger than myself. And even if you're older, even if you're my peer, I think there comes a time where, and that's why today's topic is about celibacy, where perhaps sorting it out yourself is the responsible thing to do. And not that I'm trying to make that cool. Obviously, the ultimate would be to be able to step away from any sort of desire, any sort of, to be monks, to be perfection. But we're not. We're just people. And perhaps we found ourselves on one side of the spectrum, right? On the other side of the spectrum. And because we were there, we went completely to the other side, which is what I did. And then now I'm on the journey of discovering where the sweet spot is, right? Obviously the sweetest spot, the ultimate, is to be in a loving, fruitful relationship when you're older, where you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life, in my humble opinion. Because anything other than that is me taking from you and you taking from me. And what I'm taking from you and what you're taking from me are things that we could use to fill the cup of the person that we actually do genuinely care about and who genuinely cares about us. And that's just my belief around that. So I think it's important. I just wanted to open the tab today of talking about, for example, celibacy, and that it is perhaps the responsible thing to do. To I'll make an example. Today, girl hits me up. Hi. Hello. Nah, I was just checking up on you. She wasn't just checking up on me, bro. She wanted something from me. And I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but she wanted something from me. Mind you, these are pre-recorded videos, so the timeline, you'll never know when this was happening. But today, it happened today. And I took that time. I was thinking about it. Not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm just a man. I'm only human. I was thinking about it, and I said to myself, okay, now mind you, I have abstained completely, taken all interactions with anything to do with the act, anything to do with overt displays, or like people dressed a certain way. There's just things that would trigger me. Like I really treated it like an addiction, and I said things that trigger me, I'm gonna move away from. So if you look at my social medias, if you look at stuff like that, you won't find people who are dressed a certain way, who are talking about certain things or acting a certain way, or talking about them in an uneducational sense, like they're really just out there promoting blasphemy. You won't find that in my algorithm. So I removed that. I removed the viewing sites and all that stuff. Removed obviously the people. I stopped interacting as much with people who So it was that I stepped away completely. And then not too long ago, a blunder, I slip up. I traveled. I came back. As soon as I came back, they be blowing up your phone, bro. You be blowing up your line, and then yeah, no, I blundered. I slipped up. But in my slipping up, I realized, or I sat down. I questioned myself, like, really, bro, really, genuinely. Is that it? Is that the breaking point? And like I said, ours is to shift that breaking point until we never have to meet it. So in that, I'm now what I'm now beginning to practice. Like I said, okay, so the story, she hits me up. I'm like, oh, and I got time today. I got time. Wait, today I got time. I got time, a location, all the stuff. So I looked at that, thought those things, and I said, okay, turn the phone off, put it aside. I went to another room or a different building completely, removed this demon from myself, relieved myself of this demon. And from there, I was thinking clearly, and I thought to myself, man. And in order to do that, by the way, I had to spend like $7, right, to do that, to relieve myself. Because I made it that way so that I can create a negative feedback loop, so that I can understand, even within that small space, that hey, this is costing you. in real time. And at least now it cost you $7 in a couple of minutes. If you actually brought someone over and did that whole thing, then it would cost you an afternoon. So that's time. It would cost you resources. It would cost you energy. Resources in terms of maybe you'd have to get this person some sort of sustenance. Maybe you'd have to get them transport, etc. So think about the cost that you'd be bearing on one side. That's the biggest evil you could commit right now. And then there's this evil. There's the biggest evil of you could do that, or and then there's a lesser evil of, okay, you could do this and it's much less cost, much less time cost, and you get the clarity to say no to that. And then obviously the ultimate would be to, okay, right now what I'm thinking is to stretch out time periods in between having to do this, to because now it's like, here it almost happened and then I boom. So now it's creating time, time and a bigger buffer in between when this happens and when I need to do this. So now it happened and I said, "Ooh, I need to run." So eventually I'm gonna be able to just say no, right? To say no, I'll say not now. After saying not now, I'm gonna be able to say no. After saying no, I'm gonna be able to remove these people from my life, so I never even have to deal with it. And then when it comes, if it comes, it's a surprise, and I'm genuinely tempted. Then only do I resort to that. So yeah, guys, celibacy is a journey. It's not being perfect. It's not perfection, but I feel that ultimately, what you gain from it is time, and time is all we really have in this world, in this universe. All you truly have is your mind and your time. So anything that plagues it, anything that you don't want to be giving your time and your energy to, but you find yourself giving in, I encourage you to step away from those things. And this is one of them, regardless of how you feel about it. Whether you believe in soul ties, you believe in trading energy, you believe in people like if this person is a certain type of individual, they can bring your energy, they can bring you down, they can drag you down. Or even if you know this is something that you're not supposed to be doing and you do it, then you're gonna be harping on it, and you're gonna be kicking yourself about it, and that's all just negative energy. So the more you can step away from those things, the better you'll be able to perform, the better you'll be in general. So yeah, I just wanted to open that tab today, begin to talk about the act, things involving the act, and that type of thing, because this is something that I believe that we ought to be taught about, and these are thought processes we ought to be taught to have from young ages, in order to protect us from ourselves. I thank you. I've been Sage. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Signing out. Myself